I haven't been able to hardly work on the monthly prompt at all, and I have 5 days left. Hopefully that will be enough. Who knows, maybe this will push me to be a little more productive. Alas, if only I had been right, but it was not to be so. It's the 28th now, and I've given myself a pretty easy day despite having a lot of things to do, because I've felt pretty terrible all day. I've had a headache among other things, and so today I've just not been really feeling up to much. But that being said, the show must go on at some point, and I'm feeling a little bit better now, so I still have to do my illustration, and I want to sketch a bit for the monthly prompt. I didn't do that. That being said, it is 5:30, and I'm not going to be able to get a lot of done for a while because I have to cook and eat and all that stuff. So I'm not really sure how much I'll be able to get done, and this definitely puts a wrench into the works, as they say. Hopefully I'll be able to pull something off. As much as I've been bugging myself this entire time about how I'm not getting any work done on the actual monthly prompt, and as much as I've been talking about how much my exhaustion from everything is, kind of holding me back, to be honest, I never really expected anything else. I mean, I didn't really expect myself to get burned out. Otherwise, I don't think I would have really done any of this. But I knew that the idea I had in my head of what I wanted this monthly prompt to look like just wasn't going to be practical. I wasn't going to be able to do that with the time frame I had with doing an illustration every day. And I knew for sure I wasn't going to get this perfect picture from my head onto paper. Let's ignore all that for a bit and just talk about what the original idea for it was. Like I said before, the very basic, bare bones of the idea I had was basically an ironic take of the prompt, fun in the sun. Basically someone not having fun in the sun. So the picture that I immediately visualized was this girl standing in this really wide, exaggerated floppy hat. Is that what they call floppy hats? These little floppy sun hats. Just kind of looking like, I don't really want to be out here kind of expression on her face. And around her, a bunch of people, actually having fun in the sun, running around, playing, what have you, and just having the sun beat down. I envisioned her standing, like a full-bodied picture of her standing there, and she was going to be standing kind of like in this parkish area, with this really big, nice green tree in the background. I think there was also somewhere, I just imagined, there's this picnic blanket spread out kind of in the background with picnicking stuff lying on it, and maybe a couple sitting there, something like that. But anyway, there was a lot going on. There was a lot of people in the background. She's just standing there. Her whole posture is kind of communicating like, I don't really want to be here. You almost get the sense like she was forced to by her family. Maybe there's her family in the background too. I don't really know. That was my original idea. So just keep that in mind as you see what kind of end up happening, and you can judge for yourself if I was successful in communicating the basic concept of that. I have an update for you guys. I haven't started on my illustration, but I did manage to do a decent amount of editing. Unfortunately, it's about 10:20 by now, and like I said, haven't done the illustration yet, and I know this is going to shock you, but I don't really know what I'm doing. Again, I do have a vague idea. But I don't even know if I'm gonna do that, or if I do it, what direction exactly I'm gonna take it. The plan is to basically start it right after I film this, and just kind of see where it goes from there, because I don't have a lot of time to think now. Probably should have done it earlier. Well, I was doing nothing. But hey, at least I had a good excuse for doing that, right? Let's get started. Finally. This illustration could use so much more work, but I'm just so done. It's so late. I have no clue what I think about it. I'm probably not going to like it that much. This is like the most complicated piece that I've done in a really short period of time. Not that it's really complicated, but it's a person. And yeah, I don't know. It's work too. So. It seems like everything that's happening is just getting in the way of doing this monthly prompt. Whether that's lack of room for footage, having to get a bunch of editing done to give me more room for footage, not knowing what to do for illustrations, the time doing illustrations takes, and now today feeling very sick and just not being able to focus because my headache. It looks like everything's trying to stop it. And things are looking pretty grim. We're on our last few days. Like I said, I wasn't able to work on it today. I'm not going to be able to work on it tomorrow either. So that basically leaves Monday and Tuesday, 2 days. I've taken the reference photos, haven't done anything else. No composition, no nothing. I do have a plan though. Here's the plan. I'm going to do it all on Monday, best case scenario. There are several things that have to be done in order for this to work. First of all, I have to have a lot more footage on my camera and computer than I do now, so that I don't have to spend a whole bunch of time making room for that footage by editing and doing time lapses and erasing footage and all that kind of stuff, which has been already a big problem in the past. And let me tell you, I have like basically no room on either of those places, so that's going to be a lot. Right now, what I'm doing to deal with that is uploading a bunch of the footage onto my Google Drive and then deleting it from my computer and camera so that I have a little more space to work with. Doing as much of that as possible, but I can't really delete the footage I'm using on the video I'm editing right now, which is a lot of footage because I did more vlogging than usual. Kind of wish I didn't do that. I also have to get up early and go to bed early if possible so that I can really double down on doing this thing and feel awake and focused and do it as soon as possible and get as much done as soon as possible. Worst case scenario, other than just not being able to get it done at all, is not being able to get it finished on Monday. But if that happens, I can maybe work around that. I'll just have to realize early enough in the night that it's not going to work and quickly throw another illustration together and just finish the monthly prompt on Tuesday. The reason why I don't really want that to happen is because that is technically the day that it's due, and I don't want to have to really worry about getting it done on time and feel all the pressure and stress from that. I would rather have, you know, a nice peaceful end of Jillustrations. But also, by doing it on Monday, I'll have a bit of leeway in case things don't quite work out. That's a plan. Hopefully I'll be able to do it. My biggest concern for sure is having room for footage. Unfortunately, sometimes it's the little things that ruin you. Oh yes, you know what time it is. It is time to finally get into the monthly prompt on basically the day that I'm trying to finish it. I'm starting. I don't know if you remember this, but last video I said that I wanted to do all of the sketching and painting in one day. Well, pretty quickly after saying that sentence, I realized that was pretty impractical, and that if I really wanted to do a good job, it would kind of have to be divided into multiple days. Because even with the simplified version of this illustration, there's a lot of work that needed to be done because I was going for a pretty realistic-ish looking piece. But it looks like I basically got what I said. I am basically trying to squish all of the drawing and painting into one day, and guess what? It was a bit of a nightmare. Okay, that's not really fair to the day. I actually did have a really enjoyable day, but as you will see, it didn't quite work out so smoothly. So, it's unfortunately late starting this. It's about 2 o'clock, in fact, which is definitely not what I was hoping for. I fell asleep really early last night, unintentionally early. I just fell asleep on the couch. I think it was maybe not even 9 p.m. But I was just out, and you'd think that would mean I would wake up earlier, but apparently not. I was just so zonked. I slept into 12. Yeah, not the ideal situation. And then, I spent the rest of the time just madly trying to, clear footage on my camera and computer. That's what I've been doing for the past 2 hours or so. And now I'm finally ready to get down into the illustration, and yeah, this is definitely not what I was hoping for. I was hoping to get started like more around 9 or 10 in the morning. So yeah, I better stop talking and just get right down to it. Hopefully everything goes smoothly. If you're wondering, what in the world happened to the 29th? Like, why didn't I, do any work on the monthly prompt on that day? Well, I've said it before and I'll say it again, but it was a Sunday and I don't work on Sundays. So the most I'll do is like a very simple drawing that takes the least amount of energy and time and thought possible, and I'll just, quickly do that. So yeah, we're basically gonna act like the 29th didn't even exist, and that just wasn't a day. So it's 3:30 now. I finished all of my thumbnailing, I think, and I'm ready to get into the sketching process finally. It's finally just coming together a little more. Like I said, it's not exactly what I originally had in mind, but I had a lot going on in the original, so I think I'm happy, and I'm ready to get on sketching, and I'm really excited about this. I feel like I'm finally getting stuff done. I'm past the sketching part now. As you can see, it's a little awkward looking, but I'm hoping that will go away once I start adding the paint, because as you might know, we don't have like outlines around our lips or around our nose or around our eyes or anything. So when you just have outlines for everything, things can look pretty weird. This has been Art Lessons with Bailey. So I'm hoping it's just that I don't really have a lot of time to perfect it more and more, and it's not like I'm aiming for perfect realism either. But yeah, I am a little concerned about that, you could say. It's also 4:47, so it's almost 5 by now, and I have to take a break. I kind of need it. And I have to do some work around the house. So yeah, I'll come back to this before dinner to start the painting process. It might be a late night tonight. Probably. Which I'm not looking forward to, but less talk and more do then, I guess. Was that a hair flip? What? Less talk and more do is right. After taking that little bit of a break, mostly just to do chores, I spent basically the rest of my time just plodding along, painting and coloring and tweaking. And I'm not gonna lie, there was a lot of paint drying in between, but couldn't really help that. But I was productive. Finally, I was finally productive, and I just kept going at it. It was glorious. It was fun. It was amazing. It looked like, wow, I might actually make this despite starting this sketch so late in the day. And then this happened.